What is going on, everyone? We are back. Happy Thursday. We're here talking She-Hulk episode 5, live discussion about this time. Let me add myself to the stream. There we go. There we go. What's going on, everyone? Again, excuse me. Again, we have our She-Hulk live after show where we break down the episode, talk about little Easter eggs, what worked, what didn't work. Then we have a good time and all that and everything in between. Again, this has been a every Thursday we are here live discussing this show, and I'm so excited to be back with you all discussing this 5th episode, which I gotta say, off the bat, I had a good time with. I mean, we're 5 episodes into the series. If you aren't aware of what this show is at this point, I don't know what to tell you as things are falling behind me. Craziness here. If you don't know what the show is at this point, I don't know what to tell you, y'all. I don't know. You know, I mean, it's cool if you don't enjoy it. That's understandable. But I'm not saying the show is perfect. You know, it's not my top 3, top 5 MCU show so far. But I'm having a good time with what they're giving us thus far. So we're going to talk about that today, obviously. And once we get some more people in the stream, maybe we'll talk a little bit more about some of the more recent announcements or lack of announcements from D23, which happened this past weekend at, the expo. We've been talking about it for weeks now as far as speculation goes. Fantastic Four, yada, yada, yada. Are we going to get some X-Men news? Are we going to get some, reveals about the next slate of films that were empty for the Comic-Con panel? So we didn't get much of that, but I still think we got some pretty good tidbits to get excited about in regards to the different trailers we saw from Werewolf by Night. What else did they give us? Secret Invasion. And was there another trailer that's just not coming to mind at the moment? But I had a good time for what they did deliver. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. But again, in the meantime, just want to give everyone a shout out. Appreciate you again for joining me live on this Thursday talking about this episode, which, like I said, I thought the episode was funny. Again, comedy is so subjective. We all know that at this point. But I just had the Avengers and all that different stuff, and Nikki and Luke, the costume designer. I don't know, man. This episode in particular, I got some good chuckles and some good laughs. But my boy is in the waiting room. We'll bring him in a bit here. But again, guys, appreciate you joining me on this Thursday. A like goes a long way. A share goes a long way. And of course, this is a live stream. So let me know your thoughts, comments, concerns, all that fun stuff in the comment section. So yes, like I said, my homie is in the back room making his return to join me to talk about She-Hulk. I'm talking about the one and only Chris from Taste Take. What's going on, man?
What up? Mic check, mic check, mic check.
Sounding good, man. Sounding good. How we doing?
Doing good, man. Happy to be here. We out here.
Yeah, man. Again, I appreciate you, Chris. I know you got some plans, so we won't keep you too long. But excited to have you back, man. It was a fun episode last week, which I want to get your thoughts on. Of course, we'll break down this 5th episode. But of course, I got to give my wonderful co-host his time to shine and let everyone know who he is and where he can find the content.
What up? Make it short and sweet. I'm Chris Tate, representing Taste Take. I make a lot of YouTube videos and inspired by a lot of people that Elliot done brought on the show. So I'm just a creature of Elliot's creation. So I'm out here. You guys may have seen me before. If you haven't, check me out. But if you have, more importantly, thanks for the love. So far, so good. So let's get into the show.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, guys. Again, Chris links will be in the video's description. Chris, man,
new backdrop though. Where we at?
Oh no, I'm still in I'm just messing around, maneuvering some things, man, trying some new stuff. I'm in my dining room, I guess you.
Is that thing behind you one of those movie things? It
is, yeah, the movie palette that I think I showed on last week's episode that they sent me over a couple of days ago, and I'm I don't know, man. All my videos are pretty bare bone as far as background, so I'm trying to just find a way. I'm not that most creative guy when it comes to like backgrounds and backdrops. I'm just, a little sprinkle here and there.
I can help you with that.
All right, man. I'm gonna need the help. Because Chris, I got tons of posters in my closet, man. I've never been a hanging poster guy up. Never in my life. I don't know what it is.
All right. Well, I'm gonna show you what I got going on. We'll do an offline session. I'll get you right.
Man. Yeah, man. Well, listen, it's been a week or 2 weeks since I've seen you, man. I think episode 3 was the last time we chatted or caught up. How have you been feeling about the show, where we are now, and what were your thoughts about last week and transitioning into episode 5?
Give me the 2 second version. What happened last week? Remind me.
Last week, which I thought was hilarious, was
I know William Wong.
Madison with two N's and a Y.
Yeah. Oh, got
Who I
it.
love.
Got it. No, she was good. She was
She,
good. That was a
thank you,
good little
Chris. Thank you,
episode.
man. I thought she
People
was so
hating on
damn
her?
funny. I wouldn't say hating. It's just some people. It's a acquired taste, you know. Not everyone
Oh,
was a
okay.
fan of just the drunk. I don't know. I thought that she was hilarious, and I want more of her, more of Wong. I want the spinoff, man.
Yeah, no, that was a good episode. This episode, to me, this episode was like well acted. Like the jokes were perfectly executed.
Yep.
Nikki is really coming into her own, and I was always a
Yeah.
Nikki fan.
Yeah, man.
But this was like, okay, Nikki's good. The guy, I forgot his name, but he was actually pretty good too.
Yep.
Do you remember his name from the
Pug?
works at the
It was
firm?
Pug.
Okay, yep. He's
Augustine
good.
Pug? Yeah.
A lot of good lines, and then Jen, of
really
course,
good line.
acting it perfectly, like the local ways, like the little subtle stuff that not everybody's
Yeah.
gonna pick up on. I
Mhm.
picked up on all that stuff. At the end of the day, I don't know what is the point of this show, but I know that it's enjoyable. So like it's Disney Plus, right? So it's like it's included
Yeah.
in the package. So it ain't really, it's not moving the culture forward like Loki,
Right.
but it's
right.
like enjoyable. So it's like I find, and then it's annoying to hear like the anti-wokeness, but you know.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more, Chris. This show is not breaking new ground. It's not really
Yeah.
expanding the MCU. And here's the thing, Chris. I think we've been, I hate to use the word trained, but I think we've been somewhat programmed for a certain type of experience with Marvel in this 13, 14-year run. So they've been going on with, as far as like everything builds to something. Everything means this. Post-credits going to tie to this and this, that, and the other. And this show is just like, no, we're throwing that out the window. And Miss Marvel, to a certain extent, kind of played with that, which is in Moon Knight as well, self-contained stories of just, this is the character, this is their life. In this case, it's a sitcom comedy of Jennifer in courtrooms every week, whether it's,
but you know,
yeah,
go ahead.
No, I'm saying whether it's dealing with a shape-shifting elf or a trademark infraction, or you know, all the stuff we've gotten so far. It's like comics to me, Chris. There's so many different character runs, character traits, backgrounds, and not every comic's going to work for everyone, but these creators are just having a fun time with the character that we're meeting for the first time in the MCU. And I'm having fun so far. But what were we going to say, man?
Yeah, no, because like you're right about how Marvel has kind of like programmed us and trained us, but what really set us back, and you know, it's not their fault, but the first Disney Plus show, because we didn't know what to expect. The first Disney Plus show was WandaVision, where every little thing means something. So now we watch all these shows like, all right, what did that mean? What did that mean? What did that mean? And if it won't mean nothing, we're like, it's kind of whack.
Right.
So it's like we have to remember how to like just watch stuff just to watch it. That's my
it's tough too, Chris, because like you said, man, when you've been expecting certain things, it's new, and like you said, even WandaVision was so fresh. But even then, it was like it was Wanda, and it tied into obviously the greater MCU and Vision, and it had all those isms to it. But this show, not that it's, I don't want to say it's not expanding. I want to take that back, because obviously there's that Hulk storyline, which I think will play out eventually. This show will give us Daredevil, not just in Matt Murdock form as we saw in Spider-Man, but we're going to see him in costume as we've seen in the trailer. So it is building on that, but it's just not as, I guess, impactful is the word I would use to some of the other characters in the MCU, man. So we're going to get into it here, Chris, and I'm glad you enjoyed it, because I definitely did as well. But briefly before we do, just a quick little thoughts from you, man. I know news and all that stuff, you know, when we talk about it, it's like, oh, that sounds cool. I didn't really hear about that. Did you follow anything about D23 last week? Was there anything from Werewolf by Night or Secret Invasion, anything that kind of moved the needle for you in the announcements?
I'm behind on the trailers. I was following D23. My biggest mission in life right now is waiting day by day to review Little Mermaid, so I can drag everyone on the internet. And you know I like to get spicy. So I've been waiting for that moment,
song, bro. Yeah.
I've been waiting. And that's my favorite Disney song from a Disney movie. So I was like, that thing came in crazy.
Yeah.
So I just been waiting patiently just to troll all the trolls. So I gotta wait a couple months, and that'll happen. But I missed Secret Invasion trailer. I didn't watch a lot of the trailers, but
it wasn't a lot. They only dropped 2: Secret Invasion and Werewolf by Night were the 2 that they premiered, or at least
so I missed those. But it's always cool to have like those events where like, you know, people can get some fan excitement, and of course we got a Little Mermaid trailer from that, which is, you know, that's a dope trailer. But I'm sure you heard of this, but the controversy of the dislikes on the trailer.
Yeah, what is it, like 16,000 likes and like almost 100,000 dislikes or something? The ratio is insane.
Well, it's like 2 million dislikes.
Wow. Well, that was a couple days ago when I saw that one. So that's
Because I didn't, the YouTube
it's,
took away the dislikes, but I guess there's an extension that shows the dislikes. Because
yeah,
I don't have that on my computer. I can't see the dislikes.
right. Me neither. Yeah.
But apparently that's the case.
That's
So
wild, bro.
yeah, it's all well.
It's I mean, I don't want to say I'm surprised because of the times we live in, but I feel based on the little 10-second teaser trailer and all that stuff, I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not the biggest Little Mermaid fan. Like I watched it, growing up, but I'm not like it doesn't
Yeah,
have a special spot in my heart. But I know how, like you said, it's something that you
yeah.
enjoyed. I know a lot of people around the world do, so I'm excited
Well,
for it. I'm
plus,
actually
like
excited for her
most
career
of the
too.
Disney movies that they've done like this, people don't love them. Like it's like I'm trying to think.
Yeah,
Like people
yeah.
kind of like Aladdin.
I
They
had a good time
hate
with
Lion
Aladdin.
King. They
Yeah,
hate now.
Lion
They
King.
just
Yeah.
hated Pinocchio.
Pinocchio, I
They
heard got
they
trash.
hated
Yeah.
Mulan.
Yep.
Beauty and the
It's
Beast. I don't remember how people
that
felt
was
about it.
yeah. I'm
So
trying
it's
to
not like
think.
they have some sort of
Yeah,
like
track
expectation
record of
to live up to. And I don't. I haven't seen Pinocchio, but I don't hate any of the movies that I just listed out.
yeah.
So we'll see.
It's man. We will see, man. I'm looking forward to as far as bringing it back to Marvel. The stuff that they did show, the Secret Invasion, I'm very excited for because I'm a big Winter Soldier fan, and the trailer was definitely giving me thriller vibes. And listen, Chris, I don't know if you heard this, but your boy Captain America is coming to play ball. I don't know if you saw the announcements of Cap 4 in regards to who the villain is and the returns of characters, but they
Nah.
brought Anthony Mackie out. They brought the director out. And they announced, and speaking of She-Hulk, tying it back, they announced that the main villain of She-Hulk is going to be the leader, who was played by Tim Nelson Blake back in 2008. It was a little, when the Hulk's blood got on his head and his head started to expand. That same actor is coming back to play the villain in Captain America 4. And also Carl Lumley, who played Isaiah Bradley's coming back. And
Oh, nice.
I know, Chris, there might be something to keep an eye out for, my friend. I know Cap's not your guy, but he might grow on you, man, based on the stuff I'm hearing so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not even calling him Cap yet. That's where I'm at. So
He hasn't got to that point, guys. He's gonna get there, though. I'm telling you, Chris. Keep an eye out for that, bro.
He
Keep
didn't
an eye
earn
out
that
for
yet.
it.
But no, of course, I'm sure they're gonna do well by that movie. I think it's gonna be good.
I'm hopeful, bro. But we got this 5th episode to talk about, which again was titled "Mean, Green, and Straight." Poured into these jeans, which was Jennifer's kind of bio on her dating app that she set up a couple weeks ago. But right off the bat for me, Chris, we've been talking about her for the last few weeks. Where has she been? Titanium. She popped up in episode 1 and been MIA ever since. We've gotten, like you can see on the little news scrolls, like her influencer wants to do this, that, and the other. But now she's coming back. And listen, I got to tell you straight up, Chris. I'm a fan of this portrayal so far. This whole kind of wink, nod at social media and influencers such as a Kim Kardashian, who I think she was channeling her inner Kim Kardashian in this episode. But what did you think of? And I believe this is my first time seeing her. I know she has a big following, and she's been on, like, I think it's called The Good Place, and she has a big fan base. But this is my first time actually seeing, besides the 2-second clip of episode 1 of Jamel, I think is her name. I thought she was great, man. What did you think of her and the whole social media influence angle?
Yeah, one thing I like about these shows now, and sometimes some of the later Marvel movies, is like explaining how we would really act in real life. Like we would have a Marvel Broadway show, like they created in
100%.
whatever
Yep.
show that was, like, and we would have like all this merch and all that kind of shit, and we would like exploit these things like how they have in this episode. So I'm like, yes, this is 1,000% accurate. So I like that, and I hated her in the first episode because it was so.
Oh, it was such a bad introduction. That was
so
such
dumb.
a bad introduction. Yep.
But this was, everything she did here was perfect, and it was like, they ruined her entrance, and they could have just had her a more subtle entry in episode 1, where just like a slight inconvenience, not a real fight yet, and then maybe have some sort of fight later on or whatever. Right. But that set me back, but this was like, okay, so she's not whack.
Brought you back. Yep, 100. I couldn't agree with you more, man. Again, that has to be, and not to speak hyperbole, but as far as MCU introductions to characters, that has to be one of the worst I've ever seen in the MCU cinematic history. As far as this bust through the wall like Hulk Hogan, get punched in the stomach and knocked out, that set her back. That character. Yeah, that set her back a couple notches for me. But like you said, Chris, this episode, it made up for it because again, it was just obviously just a 2 second scene. But this to me, seeing her and again her whole angle of taking advantage of She-Hulk and also the empowerment of women, feel the beauty and everything's branded to be
Yeah.
kind of superhero. Your beauty is your superpower. I don't know, man. I got a kick out of that. And again, her portrayal of again this Kim Kardashian ish social media type of influencer. And like you said, Chris, this is so on the nose as far as being a great portrayal of today's society. The Boys is a great example of that, how they kind of play into superheroes and how they would be exploited in today's society. So that to me, we talk about how this show is a little flimsical, a little slapstick funny, but that, like you said, is so rooted in reality. I definitely love that angle of her character. And I'm excited to see, I guess, how they're going to bring back the more intimidating side of her, because I do know she is a focal point in the She-Hulk comic. So I don't know if it's going to be kind of how I felt about Miss Marvel, where I enjoyed the character building, but I didn't enjoy like the superhero aspect of that character. So I'm hoping that they can maybe find a balance of great fun character, but also an intimidating character to maybe look forward to in the future. But what do you think about them trying to pivot her to getting more into the quote unquote villainous, menacing character?
I mean, they could, but to your point, she does come across like a comic book. Like now that I think of it, I'm like, I can see like a Spider-Man comic type of villain, like the way that they treat her on there. So I'm like, oh yeah, that is pretty good. But they could definitely superhero her up a little bit more, or like super villain her up. Where I could see it happening, especially in a show like this. It's like very like just like lighthearted. So like, any fight it would be. Yeah.
And we still don't really know her origins. Like, where did she get her powers from? It was kind of hinted at in episode 1. Again, it happened so fast, but they were saying that they were experimenting on people, I think. And that's what I thought the whole angle was going to be. Like, she was going to be mad at Holloway, who was in court being sued. But who knows? They might tie all that back together. And some people, again, were speculating that she might be the boss that hired the wrecking crew, which... it'll be interesting. Again, it's going to be so interesting to see them pull it back and kind of get her into that role of the quote unquote villain. And who knows, maybe they'll switch it up and just play it completely different than what we come to expect with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But again, we see Jen everywhere she goes now. It's on the news, it's on the billboard, she's hearing it on the podcast. Even her cousin literally coming in the middle of the day, dropping off, doing his little side hustle of this the new products from She-Hulk by Titania. And just your thoughts, Chris. Again, I know you mentioned the writing earlier, and Jennifer Walters, Tatiana, man, we talked about it since episode 1 and 2. Her comedic timing, man, it's just always on point, bro. What did you think about this scene and Titanium? Just kind of brushing around first. I'm so sorry, little child. I don't know. That's when the comedy beats to me in this episode worked for me pretty much, man. What did you think about that?
Yeah, this is good. Now that I see the She-Hulk logo stole Tate State logo, but it's good. I got to sue her now. But no, this is good. I thought it's impossible for them that they would have been able to skip that line like that with no problem.
Yeah.
But also, the best part here is her taking the photo for the fan. So like,
I'll just take one.
You're actually, yeah. I'm just gonna take one. That's a good scene, and just like that little like back and forth, like that was the best part of that there.
I couldn't agree with you more, man. Again, I'm looking forward to more of this Titania and the back and forth of her and Jen. And if I don't know, again, if they'll ever be quote unquote friends or if they'll just be adversaries for the duration of the run. But I don't know, man. I'm really getting the kick out of her. But speaking of getting the kick, man, we mentioned Nikki and kind of being a background character, but she definitely, her and you mentioned earlier the pug, I think is his name. Their banter back and forth, Chris. And when my man said, "Yo, I got a drip broker," I don't know what it was about. I don't know, delivery, the scene setup, their banter. Bro, this was just again, this isn't Def Comedy Jam or Kings of Comedy type of comedy levels, but for a show that's just kind of again fun and just having a good time. I don't know, Chris. I got a good kick out of their back and forth talking about the drip broker. I don't know, man. What did you think about all that?
Yes, obviously like one of the writers or some of the writers are tapped in because like it's impressive. If him telling her one to rock, one to stock, like that's very accurate in the sneaker community. Like that's like super authentic. Her whole scene, like how she moves in this scene, like I'll do the favor for you. Like it could have been so cheesy, but it wasn't. It was like just perfectly executed. I thought it was weird that she was talking to herself. I thought they were trying to like show us something there, but maybe that's my WandaVision looking into this. In the very, very, very first minute that
Yeah.
that he came out, and then there's scene two, like when they get to the, to the actual guy. That whole scene is cool too. I'm ahead of myself, but I probably have to leave before we get to it. But I didn't love the fashion designer. I think he was overacting the scene, but those two were still carrying it for me for this episode. I think.
Oh, the Little Wayne-ish looking dude,
Little Wayne, he
Luke.
says.
Look, does
Yeah,
he
this
not kind
dude.
of
And I've seen him
resemble?
on. I've seen him on a lot of things. I forgot where I know him from, but definitely seen him before.
What's his name of that show? It was on HBO Max. Flight Attendant. He was
Oh, he was her
Kuko's
coworker.
friend. Yeah. That's I
Yeah,
saw him in that, and it was something else. But yeah,
yeah,
I've seen
yeah,
him
yeah.
around,
Yeah, I
and
think
he
he
was
was
definitely
he was hitting it a little too hard, especially
yeah,
right away. As
yeah.
the episode got on, it was cool. Like when he started giving the close at the end, it's better. But at first, I was like, you were doing a lot. And you
Yeah,
just
no, I
need to
agree.
chill.
It definitely was a little bit, especially like just like you don't know who She-Hulk is, bro. Like I know you're busy or
Yeah,
whatever. Like I don't. Well, first off, who are you working for? Because there ain't no Avengers really. Are you talking to Wanda? You making costumes for like who are you making
yeah.
costumes for? Obviously, before we get to Daredevil. But again, man, the drip broker. I don't know. I need to hashtag that drip broker comment. But this scene here again, man, just their back and forth and her just assuming he spoke Chinese and just acknowledging
Yeah,
the awkward
I'm not
nature of that
Chinese.
interaction. Yeah, yeah. What would you say? That was funny to me. And then again, Chris, when you take it to these levels of just bootleg again, like you said earlier, of course someone would be. And I don't know if you noticed, Chris, the Hulk is purple, a
Oh
purple
wow,
Hulk versus the green, and the whole setup of the Avengers, I think was the name of
Avengers
it.
and Avengers.
And again, man, this isn't the most groundbreaking comedy, but I just had a good old time, Chris, watching this episode with a smile on my face. What did you think about my man's drip, this bootleg situation here?
No, it was fire. I mean, like I hated that they wore this stuff. I was like, they wouldn't have just put the stuff on. It's like that's like cheesy, but it's all about the subtle humor. Like I loved everything that they did in this scene, except obviously putting clothes on. But I was like, yes, this is it. This guy's good. Like because he's toting a fine line of like black sand and like people being like, you're trying to be black, da da da. And
Yep.
I'm like, but nah, I think he really moved like that. So I think it was cool for me. And you
Yeah,
can see he's kind of like fanboying out, like he's just happy to be there. Like
yeah.
that was cool.
There's that drip, Chris. So you tell me you wouldn't be rocking the Avengers shirt, man, with the purple Hulk?
No, I
That
can't
ain't
do
your
the I
swag,
can't do the
bro.
bootleg. I'll spend the
Well,
premium
let
for
me
the real
zoom in a
shit.
little bit. Yeah, you see the purple Hulk there. We got a bootleg Iron Man.
Fucking
I
Thor
think
looks
that's
like
Black
Odin.
Widow. Yeah, exactly. Is that Hawkeye, Captain America? Yeah, it's
Black Widow.
definitely something you get out of Marshalls that you can find this at. Even the bootleg
Yeah.
hammer and the shield. I don't know, bro. There's just
And
some
then
funny stuff there.
every show, you're gonna get to it right now. Every show does the whole like I can still see you when they think no
Yeah.
one's watching them on the camera, and they did
Yep.
the stupid corny dance. But how she moved after the dance, like getting caught, like that was like probably like, wow, like people. It's a small little thing, but I was like, damn, she noticed that she worked that perfectly. He's like, okay, all right, whatever. Yeah, this part here, all right,
Okay.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that part right there, I was like, damn, that's good. That's so good.
I agree, man.
It's the little things.
They have actors that I think again, not I'm saying they're comedic geniuses, but it's all about timing when it comes to
Yeah.
those type of moments. And like you said, Chris, their timing to me was just pretty spot on. And honestly, they were the highlight because if we're getting into some of maybe the criticisms, the show is called She-Hulk, and her storyline in this particular episode was the perfect sum of how I felt about it. It was just kind of like where like you said earlier, where are we, I guess, what's the end line, what's the end game by the end of the show? Like, is she gonna fully embrace being a She-Hulk? Is she gonna fully embrace this mantra, this personality? We're 5 episodes in and we're getting hints and little nods to her, like, well, I can maybe use this to my advantage for reasons of keeping myself safe in the alleys. I can walk without, with my headphones on. It comes with some perks with drinking and not being hungover. So she's
Better
slowly
hair.
but surely, the hair and all that stuff, and obviously the name that comes with it. But I guess I'm just waiting for the definitive moment or seeing what is it exactly that's going to make Jennifer Walters accept this new persona in the show. How did you feel about She-Hulk in this particular episode, Chris?
In this episode, I think it was kind of, even though like She-Hulk's in the trial, it felt more like Jennifer Walters
Yeah.
on the trial. So I guess, I mean, this episode, we didn't see really any She-Hulk stuff. I
Yeah.
think the last time when she had to defend herself in the alley was like last time we saw some real She-Hulk stuff.
Right.
But maybe it's Daredevil that like inspires her, or like, you know, it's being
True.
working someone who's like toting that line. Like he is a superhero, but he also has a day job that he cares about. I don't think a lot of other Marvel people do that. Most of them are just superheroes. So maybe that's going to be the one that gets through to her, but who knows?
That's a good point, bro. Because again, not to give too much away of some recent stuff that they showed, especially at D23, they showed a particular clip of Daredevil, Matt Murdock, and Matt Murdock clothes, and they're at a bar, and he says a pretty Matt Murdock Daredevil line. I know you started to watch it, and one day, because you got to just sit down and take it all. It's a great show, man. But he says to Jennifer in her Jennifer form, like, and I can't remember verbatim, but it's essentially like you as Jennifer Walters as a lawyer can obviously get justice by the proper ways of going to the courtroom system and stuff. But then when the justice fails you, that's when you can use She-Hulk. And she kind of had this look on her face like, yeah, that could be this whole kind of give or take of this relationship where I obviously am a lawyer. I worked hard for it, but then if things don't play out well, then I am a superhero that can not break the law, but if the law fails us in the courtroom system, I can use these abilities to kind of, fix things. So I definitely agree with you there, bro. Definitely agree with you there. What did you think about this? I believe her name was Miss Book. Was the character's name who we saw? The attorney. Yeah, she popped up in a few episodes and really didn't have much to say.
The homie from Hamilton.
That is her, yes. And what else? I don't know if you ever saw Waves. She was the mom in Waves.
Oh, facts. Yo, shout out Waves. Yeah. Waves is on the low. That's like the most underrated movie of that year.
Like my favorite A24 film, bro. It's Calvin Harrison Jr.
That's when we met. Yeah, that's when we met Old Boy, and he is also on the main character. He's also, what is he also on? Damn.
What, Calvin Harrison Jr.?
Yeah. Oh, from the other one with Tracy Ellis Ross and all that.
Yes, the singing movie. I can't think of the name. Yes. I didn't see that one, but I know what you're talking about. I love when it's like that one movie with it. It's like it's right on the tip of your tongue. But shout out to her, man. Again, we talked about just comedic timing, but also the swag. I like Mrs. Brooks' swagger, bro.
She was drippy.
She's very.
The good thing about she's good. She's not trying to be funny. She's just like how a real like black executive would be. Like this is how I wanted. Like how she acts is how I wanted Meg Thee Stallion to act when she saw Jen twerking. Like. We don't do that. Like this is it. Like think about how this character would have acted. That's how I wanted Meg to act. But
you literally took the words out of my mouth, bro. Yes, I couldn't agree with you more.
Yeah, no, this scene was fire because I like when she was like, "You didn't think to patent your name," and she's like, "Well, Doctor Strange and Thor don't," and like you just chose people. We're on
sync today, bro. That's literally the scene I got pulled over here, bro.
Yeah. And it's like funny because like in real life, maybe she would have started with Hulk because like that's who she is. Like my whole cousin, who I'm named after, doesn't have his shit trademark. Why not the trademark? High Note, facts, Bernie, shout out to you. Yes, that's the movie. But yeah, I was like, wow, like that's good. Like it's funny enough. Like I was able to just like forget. Like she would have said Hulk, but that's funny enough. And then like she's like yes, and then she looks at the camera. She just like breaks the third wall there. Looks at us to see like that's a crazy moment. Then again, when she shows her to troll, like this girl Titania is the one that you're fucking fighting with, and then she turns the screen back and he's like, it's fine. I was like, damn, this is the scene.
Hey, listen, this is why Chris is on the show, guys. This is why he's one of the best content creators on the platform. Dude knows what he's talking about. You said it perfectly, bro. What I was going to kind of to add more to that was this is the balance I'm kind of looking for more in the show, where because I feel like a lot of the characters are like heightened and all the characters. And again, this is from, and shout out to Kenny in the chat. He brought this up a couple weeks ago in regards to looking at the show through the lens of Jennifer Walters, where everything is, breaking the fourth wall. It's a little bit more, I don't want to say fantasy, but it's a little bit kind of, again, tongue-in-cheek nature to it. But I like this Miss Brooks character because she balances off. Like it's good to have like a funny character.
Yeah, she just keeps it just grounded.
Exactly. Yeah. So I hope that they continue to sprinkle in more of her type of characters. I'm hoping that that's going to happen with Daredevil, whenever other cameos or other characters they present to us, where even the Judge this week, I don't know, for some small reason, the Judge to me seemed more rooted in reality than the other previous judges. Like she seemed like a legit judge that was just like, bring the facts to the table. Right now, oh, he was a fairy, and like just kind of joking around. So this episode, it was just like some of these characters are just too over the top. Where, like you just mentioned, Mrs. Banks or Mrs. Brooks was very straightforward, not a lot of jokes, getting straight to the point, and she kept that presence throughout the entire episode. So I definitely 100% appreciated all that. We always talk about Easter eggs and little things to look forward to, Chris, and I think this is a big Easter egg, bro. The Hulk, or I should say, Shrek is officially in the MCU. How do you feel about that, Chris? Do you want to see the Shrek cinematic universe and all those characters make their way into the MCU because they're officially officially here?
I mean, I will never not love Shrek and all things Shrek. Obviously, I don't need him in the MCU, but I'm always happy to hear a Shrek joke. And then that's a great call out. Like that's a great call out. That's an impressive diss. Like that's good.
Because listen, Jen, I'm a big fan of you. I mentioned in last week's breakdown. Exactly. Yeah. I mentioned last week the dude took an L last week that was like left. Like Jen's a catch, bro. This is a catch.
Yeah, that was tough. That's one thing that because last week was the demon fight, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like, bruh, like you're not gonna walk out on Jen normal version of her. This is not like, not that guy. Like that guy's like normal, like, and he's like hot. So like, he wouldn't have walked out on the normal. He probably would have been like, damn, like I could smash both versions of you. Like that's epic.
Come on, but who misses out on
that? Was the most. That was the craziest. I was like, I forgot about that. Joe, yeah, I'm glad you brought that up.
It was a topic of discussion last week when I had Brandon on. I was like, this dude is taking a huge L, man. It's like, what's going on with you, bro? But bringing it back to kind of tie it into this conversation again, the Shrek reference, the judge being kind of more based in reality, and again, Titanium, her accent and her because I think she's British in real life, and her American Kim Kardashian accent to me played really well. And again, this isn't Law and Order, but I don't know. This was one of my more fun yet grounded courtroom scenes, and all the courtroom scenes this week actually kind of really surprised me. I kind of enjoyed it. What did you think about this week's courtroom scenes that we got?
Yeah, no, I agree. Especially coming from the stupid not teleporter, but shapeshifter lady. That was nonsense. This was way better. And this was realistic. Like, because this is a real thing. Like someone could trademark those names if that was the case. Like someone would get SheHulk.com and then be fighting for that. Like that. These are things that really would happen. So I was like, oh, not bad.
I agree with you, bro. And we kind of alluded to it, but just kind of to sum it up, because I do want to get your thoughts on some of the ending before you had to head out, Chris. So we're going to make this one. I'm going to probably stay a little bit longer, guys, but I definitely want to get Chris's thoughts on some of the more ending stuff. But we touched on, I think his name was Luke, but just to kind of summarize, again, your overall thoughts on him. And if we were to put on our theory hats, who do you think he is making other costumes for? If you were to pick out a dripless Avenger or a superhero in the MCU, who do you think needs an upgrade?
Hawkeye still needs an upgrade from those. 100%. He definitely needs an upgrade. Who else is dripless? Well, maybe. I guess maybe Kate needs an upgrade because she's still.
Yeah, because it's very similar to Hawkeye's look. Yeah.
So
Elena's pretty swag. I like her little stealth suit. She got some swag.
Elena is perfect.
Elena, it's a full package.
She needs no who else would need a nice little drippy?
I know your boy. I know how you feel about Cap. I know Brandon's in. I don't know if Brandon's still here. He's a fan of the Cap suit. Do you think they need an upgrade? That Captain America suit, bro?
I hated that suit when they gave it to him in the end of the thing. I was like, that was nuts. I think Loki could use a just not an upgrade, but like he needs to be like just to the present day. Like he's just stuck in the past. Like he just needs like a futuristic like 2022 level suit. But it's not like it's whack. It's just fucking dated. I mean, I guess Thor too.
Thor. Well, he had, and I tried to watch Love and Thunder, and it doesn't hit the same way it did a couple months ago. And I'm gonna finish it probably this weekend. But he had like 17 wardrobe changes in Love and Thunder, which is crazy.
Does that count the toga?
Yeah, count that one too. Yeah, he had. It was like a fashion show, bro. Like every other scene, he was wearing a different costume. So, again, I am very curious to know who Luke has made costumes for. I'm just trying to think who else would he be. But we obviously going to talk about Daredevil. But is he like making costumes for, I don't know, Blade or I can't even think of anyone else because the whole team
maybe some X-Men.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, some X-Men, maybe a couple Fantastic Four. Well, we don't know if they're in the universe.
But it's a nice touch here. It's like, okay, like this guy is not my favorite character, but it's like a nice little touch to just have him existing. Like Where do
Yeah.
they get their clothes? I always thought about that. Like even like watching like Dark Knight the other like a couple of months ago, and I was
Yeah.
like, where does the Joker get his clothes? Like I know they said it's all custom and all that. It's
Right.
like who's making this stuff?
No, it's Luke.
So it's a nice touch there.
It is. It
But
is.
yeah,
And it is.
I do got to hop. But that was my last thought on that. Like I
Yeah.
didn't love the guy, but he grew not grew on me, but he got a little better at the end. How I like how he
Yeah.
like gave her a couple options and that kind of stuff. And I like the Easter egg of the the last scene that you get, which I know Caitlin mentioned that there's no post credit scene, which I thought that would have
There
been a
isn't.
post credit scene.
Yeah.
The episodes are so short. I'm like that would have been a good post credit scene, but I
Yep.
guess maybe it would have been too good because maybe people would have missed it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I agree. Well, Chris, thank you again for tuning in, or not tuning in, but coming in.
I'm
Hopefully,
tuned in.
I think myself, will, I'll be back, of course, and obviously, hopefully, you can join us. And I think Amanda might be free, so we might actually get the full team back. Like the Warriors
Next
full
Thursday?
force. I think so. I think this is
Yeah,
where
next
Clay
Thursday
Thompson comes
I'm
back.
definitely good. I'm definitely good.
Draymond, Clay, we get the big three back, man. But Chris, I hope you have a good time tonight, man. If you want to plug yourself again before you head out, any new movies we should be looking out for your own reviews or documentaries, what can we expect on Taste Take?
Yeah, Taste Take. I got a new video that I dropped this week. It's a Netflix documentary that is already out. Sins of Our Mother. It is a true crime. I know you guys love your true crime stuff. It is crazy. It is disgusting. It is nuts. Check it out. You can check my video out. No spoilers, all that stuff. I am gonna do. I got another Netflix movie to do. I might, if I have time, but I'm gonna try to get to Woman King either tomorrow, hopefully, so I can go to a quick TikTok on that. I know people are raving about it, so look out for that. If those are my next things that I'm on.
Dope, bro. Can't wait to check them out. Can't wait to chop it up with you again. Hopefully next week, man. Hope you have a great weekend, bro. And I'll catch you on the next one, man.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, bro.
Peace, y'all.
Peace. All right, guys. That's the homie, Chris from Taste Take, guys. Again, by the time this video is officially uploaded on YouTube, I'm going to have his links and all that fun stuff in the description of the video. So I'm all alone. And you all know we like to do these live call-ins. So if anyone wants to join in, put a 1 in the chat and I will share the link to today's live stream in the live chat. So let me know if you all want to join. Again, just put a 1 in the chat and I'll go ahead and share that link with you. So kind of following up on what Chris was alluding to in regards to, again, we were talking about the costumes. Who else can he have made designs for? Again, I'm really trying to think who else would who would he have made costumes for in the MCU? Because he's obviously established who had helped Matt Murdock get in contact with him. So again, this is where you put the little, theories like, oh man, who else has he made? But it might just be, they might not even play up to it anymore. This might be the last time we see this character, or he can be the next Tony Stark in the sense that he's making all the costumes for the Avengers moving forward in phase 5 and 6. So as we kind of wrap up the episode, it is Jen's idea to invite her ex-lovers or ex-dates to come to the courtroom and to solidify that the whole She-Hulk name brand was kind of going before Titania kind of captured it. And she, it's pretty embarrassing because obviously we met some of those individuals in last week's episode, especially the guy who, like I said, just took a huge L. Like, how do you not want to continue to date and maybe move forward relationship-wise with the Jennifer Walters? I don't know. The dude's kind of loco for me. But she invites them all back. And as they have proven to show us, they are still pretty douchey in regards to their personalities, but they did help her out, which is good, right? They didn't have to come. They could have said no. We got the continuation of Todd, and I know a lot of us were maybe potentially speculating that he might be the big boss that works for the Wrecking Crew, or that he himself might work for them. I don't know, based on today's episode, if those theories are still intact, because it just seems like he is just a real hardcore, fanboy of She-Hulk. But again, it could just be all a facade. He could still be potentially the boss or working for the boss. There's the douche there. There's that guy. I don't even know if they announce his name or give us a name for his character. But he's taking L's, man. But he did come in. He at least he was honest, right? He said that when Mrs. Book asked, hey, if Jen, if She-Hulk wasn't in her form, would you date Jen? He says, not to be rude, but no, she's not my type. And he should have said that last week when he was in her house being all kind of, listen, to be fair, you go out to a club, it's late, it's dark, you can't really see, take the girl home, and the next morning she's looking like, Shrek, then it is a different story, right? But I don't know, man. It just seemed a little harsh to me. Like, this is personal opinion. I think Tatiana Maslany is a very beautiful woman, and She-Hulk is a badass and beautiful in her own right. Do I need to remind you of the twerking scene? But so I don't know, but I thought that he should have said what he said in the courtroom today. It should have been said last week, like, hey, I had a fun time. But unfortunately, I'm more into the She-Hulk side of you, and you as your human form just isn't personally, no offense, just not my type. Instead of the whole, like, oh, acting all weird about it. And shout out to Jim, man. She took that like a champ. And she's like, all right, well, appreciate it. Catch you on the flip end. Peace. But anyway, we wrap up this particular trial and they win the case. Shout out to Miss Books and shout out to Jen with the idea. And then the dude who I think he was a wrestler back in the day. And he used to be a judge back in the day. So he's going to get his moments of time with Titanium. But again, the way that they play this episode off, what she's saying, I'm going to get you back, you hater. I'm looking forward to getting more of her. And also getting more of this relationship between Jen and Mrs. Books. Because again, as me and Chris said, I thought that actress and this new character, well, not a new character, but character that got a little bit more screen time, definitely brings a more groundedness to the show. And she's not trying to be funny. She's not trying to be whimsical. She's just being a real person in the real world. So I do definitely appreciate her character. And I hope that we kind of can pivot to getting more characters like her, because it makes it a little bit more balanced when you can have someone to bounce jokes off of, not just having joke with every single character. So wrapping up the rest of the episode, our girl Jen gets the much needed drip update that she is in desperate need of, as Luke makes her not one, not two, but a couple different fits. And I think it's safe to say that one of those are going to be, if you all have seen the trailer, her whole get up, her more formed outfit of her being in the She-Hulk form. And I'm excited to see Jennifer Walters' new drip, to see what she's looking like. I'm looking forward to seeing that come next week. But of course, we kind of alluded to it, but a big little mic drop here, as you all can see on the screen. We're in the episode with Luke talking to one of his employees, saying, oh, what about client confidentiality? And of course, we pan over to seeing the helmet, alluding to, I don't know if he's going to be here next week. Obviously, I'm talking about Daredevil, aka Matt Murdock, aka Daredevil, because there's been a couple quotes out there from the creator of the show. She had mentioned that she's excited for later on in the season a big cameo, which potentially could allude to episodes 8 and 9 and Matt Murdock coming up later in the season, but could be completely wrong. Based on the cameos, if we want to call it that, or these kind of bigger cameos that we've gotten from obviously the Hulk and Wong and Abomination, all of those characters were in 2 episodes, right? We got Hulk in episode 1 and 2. We got Abomination episode 3 and 4, and mixing that in with Wong with 4 or 3 and 4. So all those cameos, we want to call it that, they all had 2 episodes. So what if it were to be Daredevil makes a cameo next week, and then Matt Murdock makes his quote unquote cameo later in the season as his, Matt Murdock. So I'm looking forward to it. I like this little teaser, little mic drop here. Again, no post-credit scenes this week. And if I were to bring up another thing that I really wasn't the biggest fan of in this week's episode, it ran to the finish line. Like, it went by so damn fast. Like, it was just like, it felt like, it felt another, what was the other episode? It was episode 2 or 3 that fell so fast. It just like came and went, which I guess is a good thing, because it means like, oh, well, I want more, which is always a good thing in that sense. So overall, wouldn't say it's my favorite episode, but I would say it's probably number 2 or 3 for me. I think episode last week was my favorite, and episode 1 is probably my second favorite. And then I would probably put this episode, reasons being that I felt like the writing was really on point, very sharp, very witty. I thought comedy is very subjective, but I found the comedy in this episode from the Avengers, the bootleg Avengers, the whole conversation between Pug and Nikki of being, him being he has his own drip broker. I found that to be funny, and just little moments like that I found to be really comedic. And like I had mentioned, I really did enjoy Miss Brooks and her groundedness in this episode, and it really played well to kind of even out the jokiness and the more, the show isn't super serious, but when it can get to those more relatable moments and more, grounded moments, I really enjoyed that element. So overall, man, again, I know that there are people out there for every reason. That each their own. They don't find it funny. They don't find it appealing. It's just not their taste, and that's cool. But then obviously, I don't even want to, then there's obviously the other side of it. The people are just being, ridiculous or being, this show is woke and this is agenda, all that stuff. I'm not here to really talk to them. But as far as just 5 episodes in, this is the show, and I'm having fun with it. Again, it's not changing the game. It's not groundbreaking. It's not really opening up the door to phase 5 or phase 6. Of course, this character is going to be involved in those phases, but it's not, it doesn't have to be every week a world ending type of thing. And yeah, Caitlin, I definitely agree with you. I'm loving that's another element every week are these credit scenes. They're so fun, very cartoonish, also very comic book accurate in regards to just the designs and their story within the story itself. Always fun. So yes, I definitely agree with you, Caitlin, that these little credits are always a good time. Shout out to Titania. I'm a big, like I said, guys, I'm a big fan of her. I see this. He has his little suit trying on some new drip there. Again, Tatiana Maslany, she's been fantastic. We got some of the people she's been on a date with. So there you have it, guys. She-Hulk, Attorney at Law, episode 5. It's a W for me in the books. It's a good one episode. It's a good episode. So let me pop into the comments here, see what we got. David saying Thor 4 was bad overall. All his costumes. Sucks they're not bringing Potter back. Who's Potter? Melvin. Yeah. Melvin was man, that was an interesting character. Again, Kenny, based on some of the comments Charlie Cox made during D23 last weekend, it's pretty apparent that this is, as he literally said, this is not a season 4 of Daredevil. This is a season 1 of Born Again. So it'll be interesting to see if a Melvin makes an appearance. Obviously, Karen and Foggy, and obviously we know we're going to get Vincent D'Onofrio back. So yeah, Melvin was a really cool character, man. Really cool character. Todd is Wrecking Crew 100%. Oh, you think so? Okay. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. He just, to me, I'm just basing it off of the show so far, playing against the standards of superhero shows that he just literally might be just a fanboy versus being like an actual adversary to She-Hulk. But again, I could be 100% wrong in that theory or speculation there. Are you going to talk more about the sneakers? Oh yeah, that's a good point. Let me find that. Appreciate it, Kenny. Let me find that sneaker thing, because I think I saw excuse me, I saw some people talking about it online. Let me bring it up here. If you guys don't know what Kenny's referring to, is this scene right here. Let me pull it up for you all. Shout out to Kenny. And again, guys, if you guys want to pop in for a couple minutes before we head out, let me know. Put a 1 in the chat. But this is the scene that Kenny's talking about. Obviously, Pug mentioned it earlier in the episode that he's a sneakerhead, and he's showing Nikki his sneakers collection. He got I think it was the Iron Man 3s, Kenny, if I'm not mistaken. But look behind him, ladies and gentlemen. Look at all the other little Easter eggs. There's some X-Men like character shoes, Cyclops. There's your I don't know. Can you guys see my mouse on the screen? Probably not. But if you look at the frame here, let me remove this comment here and maybe zoom in a little bit better. There is a Spider-Man shoe that you guys can see. I think to the right of Spider-Man is probably Black Panther. Above that is Cyclops. To the left of that is a Captain Marvel. I don't know who this green, I'm trying to think of green superhero suits. I don't know. That might just be more obscure. The one above that, it looks like it's a pumpkin head, but I would say it's probably like the Hulk, wouldn't it be? Kind of that purple and green look to it. I'm trying to look through the rest of it. Are those like Thanos shoes? And then I would say this one above that Ninja Turtle color is probably like a thing from the Fantastic Four. So yeah, Kenny, shout out to you. And then also, is that if you look on the top right, it looks like a Storm type out. Oh, and you got Deadpool a shoe. You got Captain America. So yeah, shout out to Kenny for bringing that up. This is a pretty cool little Easter egg. These comic book made sneakers. We all know that Pug is a sneakerhead, so shout out to him and some pretty cool sneakers, bro. That's pretty cool. And again, appreciate you bringing that up, Kenny. And let me see, there was some other Easter eggs that you caught there. Yep. Daredevil. Oh, I didn't see the Bishop Cyclops thing. Oh, I didn't see which one was Doctor Doom. Yeah, that's pretty dope. That is pretty dope. We got my man Triborough in the building. Long time no see. Yeah, how you been, Triborough? Hope you're doing good, man. It's been a minute. Ty was too creepy to just be. Yeah, that's true. Like I said, you guys probably are right. He's probably gonna have some because this is the second episode. If he was just a throwaway character, and he's a big client, so yeah, you guys might be right on that. We might can see Todd either being the I don't say big bad, but being the boss or being second in command to the boss. So he got the Iron Man 3s and 1s for advertising. Yep. When will we see? So I mentioned that not too long ago, Triborough. I think that if anything, because again, I base it off of all the other cameos have had 2 episodes. So I would imagine if we were to speculate, Daredevil make an appearance next week, and then maybe Matt Murdock comes in maybe later in the season. Because I'm just basing it off of comments the director said that she said later in the season there's going to be a big cameo. So again, that could be literally episode 6 and 7, but I assume she was talking about 8 and 9. But I think we're going to get Daredevil probably next week, and literally I mean like Daredevil, and then the week after we're going to get like him out of costume and Matt Murdock. So could be wrong, could be 7, 8, 9 or 8, 9 or whatever. We'll see. But I think we're going to get him sooner rather than later. Shocker. Okay. That's a good call, Kenny. Frogman. Yeah. Or Frog Boy. Yes, you're right. Because I think from one of the trailers, we saw Frog Boy in one of the trailers. I wonder what type of suit the Taylor made her. Yeah, I think we're going to see it next week. I think we've seen some of the promotions in the trailer, like that more form-fitting outfit. I think we're going to get that next week. Is there going to be a villain for the show? Great question. Shout out to B Avery Brennan from Just My Opinion Reviews. Shout out to your post on Instagram earlier with the hair. My man's got the Don King look to him. But anyway, shout out to Brandon. I think right now, the boss is one of the big bads potentially. Hopefully, it's not like a terrible handle, like how I feel about the Kingpin reveal, him being the big bad behind everything. But yeah, I think the boss is going to be that. Titania is obviously kind of the front runner right now, that she's probably the biggest adversary, even though it hasn't been too menacing from her so far. But I think the boss and Titania is the big bad of the show. And again, just kind of, I guess, playing to the narrative of the show, of the expectations of it all. Maybe we don't even get a quote unquote villain of the show, right? Because if we're being honest, we know a lot of these villains in the MCU TV shows have been pretty lackluster. Need I remind you of the Flag Smashers? Need I remind you of Bros, and the whole Tracksuit Mafia? Who else was some pretty bad villains? I try to forget the terrible ones, but definitely Power Broker is one of them. Damn, that Falcon and Winter Soldier had 2 terrible villains: the Power Brokers and the Power Broker, Sharon Carter, and the Flag Smashers. Whew, that show. Luckily, Sam and Bucky saved that show, because man, those are some bad villains. But yeah, like I said, to just wrap it back around, I don't know if maybe we won't get a villain, and I'm okay with that, because this show is kind of proven that that's not its main goal, is to follow that path of A, B, C, superhero moment, villain fight, But again, it might do that. Who knows? I think it's Titanium. Yeah. Like I said, yeah, I definitely agree with you. How many episodes are we getting? 9, if I'm not mistaken. I think they said it's going to be 9, which obviously breaks the mold out of the 6-episode format we have been getting so far. So yeah, I believe it's 9 episodes. Yep, Caitlin, appreciate it. Yep. All right, guys. Well, we are approaching an hour, a clean hour here, which is rare, because we be going almost damn 2 hours or whatnot. But again, this episode was quick, and there wasn't too many crazy news. We already covered a lot of the stuff on D23 last weekend when I went live. So Any other questions, comments, concerns before we head out? Let me know. Oh, I'm sorry, Trevor. Let me read your comment here. Do you think She-Hulk gets added to the Avengers? Yeah, 100%. 100% the Avengers. They need it because they don't have anyone right now. I think the Avengers moving forward in Phase 5 and 6 is obviously Sam as Captain America, She-Hulk, Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel, Doctor Strange, um, Kate Bishop, Yelena. Trying to think of any other like major players. And of course, there's so many other Spider-Man, of course. So yeah, I think she's definitely going to be an Avenger for sure. Kenny dropping those bombs, my bro. Ant-Man, yeah, Ant-Man for sure. Society is Jen's biggest villain. I like that. What's Jacob talking about? She-Hulk sucks. Well, you know what, Jacob? To each their own, my friend. To each their own. Ant-Man and the Wasp. Yep, they will be in Avengers for sure. Very looking forward to Kang, and the Quantum Mania. She-Hulk is definitely growing on me. Yeah, I agree with you, Kevin. Again, it's not groundbreaking. It's not shifting the power scales of the MCU. It's just a fun show, bro. And like I liken it to comic books. There's so many different comics out there. Not all of them work for everyone. Not all the series, not all of the comic book stories are end of the world, save, the galaxy. This is just a day in the life of a lawyer dealing with lawyer stuff and dealing with being a superhero. And I'm enjoying it so far. So shout out to you, Kevin. It's fun. Exactly, Caitlin. It's not going to be for everyone. The joke's not going to be funny for everyone. The story's not going to be interesting. The episodes are too quick. It's a sitcom. I get it. But, like I said, guys, I'm having fun with the show and I'm glad you all are having fun as well. So with that being said, as far as content wise, what you all can look forward to as far as outside of MCU content tonight, if we got any Atlanta fans in the building, put an A in the chat or ATL in the chat. But we will be talking about episodes 1 of 2 of season 4 of Atlanta, which is the final season. Keep an eye out for my reviews of episodes 1 and 2 shortly after the episode premieres tonight, which is right around like 10:30 or so. So keep an eye out for that. I shot a review earlier today for, what was the name of that movie that slipped my mind? Oh, Blonde, the new Ana de Armas movie about Marilyn Monroe. Expect that review probably tomorrow. Also later in the morning, earlier in the morning, I'm going to have for any Apple TV Plus C fans, I'll be dropping my episode 4 review of C. What else do we have? Of course, House of the Dragons on Sunday. And shout out to y'all for helping me grow this community. I love all of you all. You're incredibly awesome. With the help of you all, for some reason, I don't know how this happened, but Disney sent me the first 4 episodes of Andor. And I think the embargo is next week. So I'm probably over the weekend, I'm going to watch the first 4 episodes and give you all, because I haven't covered Star Wars in forever on this channel. So I'm going to cover those. So keep an eye out for that next week and little shorts and videos throughout the weekend. So with all that being said, Kevin showing some love, thumbs up. Thanks for keeping this. Oh, always scaling. Of course you can have criticisms, but it's a way to present them without being, over the top or being hateful or whatnot. So, I appreciate the positivity, Caitlin. ATL all day. Yeah, Kevin, we'll be talking about that later tonight, bro. So keep an eye out for my review that tonight. Other streams have been more negative. Like I said, it's people have their own platform and they can use it the way they do, but it is what it is. I try to keep things fun and, keeping it real, having a good time. That's kind of my goal because there's so much shit that we deal with in the world that I just want to kind of make this a place that people can have fun with. She-Hulk is simple, fun. Love is different. Yep. Thank you, Caitlin. Thank you for being, and congrats. Thank you for being a part of this channel and helping me grow to sending me screeners that I didn't even ask for. So that's super dope. Right, Bree? Like it literally came, and Brandon could speak to this because it's incredibly hard to get a hold of some of the Disney PRs. But Brandon's much bigger than I am. So he'd be getting stuff like, pow, 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 thrown at him. But I know, and I've talked to Brandon about this, for whatever reason, Disney never gives me early access to their shows. I get all their movie, and I'm not, this bothers me, I'm not complaining. Like I'm fortunate to be able to get things early in general. But as far as Andor, I did not expect it. So listen, guys, we'll be talking Andor next week. I'm actually really looking forward to that. So that's what's up. Oh, thank you, Rem. Shout out to Rems. This show is hilarious. I love the backstory of Jennifer Walters balancing her life as a lawyer. She-Hulk. Yep. No, I agree with you, Triborough. Thank you, Rems. Thank you. It's all thanks to you all. You all help this channel grow and take it to the heights that it's going to and will go to. So I appreciate y'all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so we are at that hour mark. Again, I appreciate all you all. If you haven't already, make sure to like, hit that share button. If you guys have social media accounts, Instagrams, Twitters, all that fun stuff. Comment below. Shout out to the replay game. Let me know your thoughts on this episode and the predictions and theories. And like I said, keep an eye out for all that content we got coming in the next coming week. You all have been awesome. You all are fantastic. Hope you're staying safe. And we'll see you later tonight when we visit the A, going back to the A, y'all. All right. Be safe out there. We catch you in the next one.